Hey guys, Jess with Peekaboo Wreath. We are back to make our football navy blue and orange football wreath. Okay, so it took me a little bit to realize what I want to use, but I have decided on this. So on the bottom, we're going to use this one. It says, it says Tigers on it, and it has orange and blue stripes. The college that we are doing, this is their mascot. So there you go. All right, and then we're going to be adding in this navy blue and white polka dot. Then we're going to be doing this burnt orange, this orange and navy stripe. 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Yep. And then we're going to be doing this 1.5 inch football. It's really pretty. It has like the same type of texture that a regular football does. And then we're going to be doing this navy blue on top. So that is our order. When we make our wreaths, our bows, excuse me, I use this. It's called a Bodabra. You can buy them on Amazon or even at Hobby Lobby or anything like that. What it does, it kind of just provides me with like an extra set of hands to hold the bow as I'm building it. And then just a pipe cleaner, the same color as I use on my wreath, so that it kind of gives it more of a cohesive look. Okay, so what we're going to be doing here is, this has to be opened up, obviously, but this is a 4-inch wide ribbon. I like to use my widest ribbons on the bottom. Sorry if that sound bothered you. I know some people don't like that. So here we go. It is wired, which is really nice, and it looks really pretty on the bottom of the bow. Since I'm not using a sign on this wreath, the bow is a focal point along with all the beautiful details, of course. I always dovetail all of my ends. It just gives it more of a polished look. It looks like a V. So, all right, so this cutting mat is what I use to help measure my ribbons or my ribbon loops, making sure that they are even on both sides. I stretch out a tail. This one looks like it's about 12 inches long. So what's kind of tricky about this ribbon is it has writing on it that goes just one way. Okay, so see how it says Tigers? If I put this in my regular Bodabra like I normally do and twist it and make it upside down and all the things, on one side of the bow, it would say Tigers like this. The other side, it would be upside down. And obviously that is not gonna work for us. So we're gonna set our Bodabra aside. We are gonna use it to set it down in after we make our bow for the rest of the layers. So we're gonna do this part by hand, and the rest of them we're gonna use the Bodabra. Some people make bows all by hand. It's too much for me to hold it all. So we're just gathering it like this. I'm keeping in mind that normally I like my loops to be about between 5 and 6 inches long. This one, if I measure it out from the 10 inch to the 3, it's about 6.5 to 7 inches long, which is fine because this is wider ribbon. So again, we're gonna keep in mind that we wanna keep our words facing up. This is a little bit more tricky since it is, we do have to keep that direction in mind, but we're just gonna kind of go with it here. Okay, so we're just twisting it so that we do get those words the right way. We're just gathering it. I'm gonna measure it on here to make sure that the sides of the bow are even. And I will be able to kind of straighten it out more once I have it on my wreath. We're just straightening that out. We're gonna do 2 loops on each side. So we're just kind of, I know it looks a little bit unkept right now, but I promise it will look good once it's on our wreath. Okay, so the way that this is right now, you see how the Tigers wordage is upside down. We don't want that, so I'm gonna make sure that I am straightening it out. I know it looks a little crazy. Stay with me here. It doesn't always look this way, I promise. It's just a little bit different when it has the directional writing. So there we go. So see all of our bow loops are looking good. We're just gonna pull a little bit out. I'm going to kind of take it with my other hand. We're gonna get our tail underneath here and kind of make it so it's the same length. At this point, I can set it down in my bow dabra, making sure that I'm keeping 2 loops on each side. Like this, we're kind of gonna stretch out the tails to make sure that they are even or somewhat even, and then cut it straight across. I will go back and dovetail them. There we go. So we're gonna set that aside. I normally use straight pins to put in my ribbon to keep all the ends all together. Okay, so that is our first layer. So when I make my bows, like I said before, I start from the bottom up. Let me dovetail that. Which is just, I just take it at the wired edge and I cut up towards the middle, and it makes a dovetailed end right there. So I am using a little bit of a different view here today than I normally do with my overhead. I'm trying to make it a little bit further up or further away so that you guys can see the whole thing. All right, so next we're going to be doing this one, this blue and white canvas. Since this doesn't have like it does have a printed side and an unprinted side. I don't know if you guys can really see on the camera. So I stretch out my tails, so they're just, one is a little bit shorter than the other one. Doesn't have to be exact, but you want to make sure that you can see that all the tails when it's on your wreath. So you gather it like this, you twist it so that the unprinted side is facing up at this point. You gather it, you're going to twist it, put it down in that bow dabra. As you're going, you can kind of make sure that the loops are opened up. That's just one less step you have to make. So I always put 2, 1, like this. These are 2. We got 1. So we're gonna do 1 on this side. And I usually make each layer about 1/2 inch smaller. So you, or like a finger's length. See, kind of. All right. All right, so here we go. We're stretching out the tail, cutting it, setting this aside, and then dovetailing this as we're going. It's just one less step that we have to do when we're all done. All right, so we got the 2, 1, and now we're gonna do this burnt orange. I tend to do my widest width ribbons at the bottom, and then do the skinnier ones as they go up. This is a 1.5 inch. I'm going to be making 2 loops on each side with this one. I'm going to kind of spread them out so that this blue and white polka dot is in between them, so that when it's on my wreath, you can see each of the ribbon layers. Okay. And as you can see, the bow dabber just kind of stands as like an extra set of hands to hold the ribbon layers as I'm building the bow. As you make more bows, you'll kind of find out, you know, what technique you like the best, what works best for you, what makes you feel most comfortable while you're making this. This bow dabber I've been using for years and years and years. So it is a little bit, this part here is a little bit stretched out compared to what it's like when it's brand new. But it's still working just fine. All right, so we did 2, 2. Now I'm gonna go with 1. This is a navy blue with orange stripe, a 1.5 inch width again. Just cut that tail. We're gonna pull those tails down a little bit. And we're gonna twist it so that the pretty side is up. Again, all my ribbons that I'm using are wired ribbons, so that even though I do leave space in my boxes for my wreaths to not get squishy, if they do get a little bit pushed down in the shipping process, a customer can just fluff up that bow again because they are wired ribbons. Or if you, when you store it, if it gets a little bit, something else lays on top of it, you can just fix it and it'll look just as good as it did the day that I made it. So here we go. I'll just kind of straightens in some things out here. Okay, so we did one loop on this side, same on that. You see how as I'm going, this is about 1 inch smaller. Okay, so now we're gonna go with this football one. So when I was choosing my ribbons, I tried to think, first of all, I kind of, I keep in mind that I like to do the pattern of 2 1 2 1 2 1 all the way up. You can always change it up if you need to. But I did want to keep it in the orange and blue theme. And I also wanted to make sure that I kind of I had some variation. So like we had the orange and blue, we had blue, then we had orange, then we had blue and orange, and now we have the football. So I didn't want to put like blue on top of blue on top of blue, then orange on top of orange. You know, I kind of wanted to mix it up if I could. So we're getting towards the end of our bow here. So I like to put 2 loops and then like a bump in the middle. It just kind of allows the customer to have more of a finished look and not see that pipe cleaner. Some people you can use a zip tie if you need to get a tight finish on your bow. A pipe cleaner works best for me. So there we go. We want to make sure that our loops are pretty much the same length on each side. We're going to cut off that tail. We're going to dovetail it. There we go. And then we're going to put the navy blue as our finishing ribbon. So I'm going to stretch some out. I'm going to dovetail it, and this is just going to be that bump in the middle that covers up the pipe cleaner. So I'm going to see how long my tail, this football one is, and I'm going to make this a little bit shorter. So what I do is I'll see how long it goes till the bodabra. I will double it like this, and then add a little bit of extra length on for that bump in the middle. We're going to fold it to dovetail it. We're going to take it like this, fold it, gather a little bit here for that bump in the middle. We're going to take one of the tails, because even though this ribbon looks like it's the same on both sides, you can kind of see the stitching of the metal underneath. So I twisted one so that the right sides of both are facing up. I'm going to lay that down in the middle. So see how there's like the bump on the one side and then the tails on the other. At this point, we're going to take our pipe cleaner. I like to attach this long part into the wreath. So this is the part here that's going to go around my bow. So this part here does take a little bit of concentration to make sure that I'm putting all of my fingers underneath the entire bow here. And I'm going to hold it down tightly with my fingers, move my bodabra aside. I'm going to move my thumb, put that pipe cleaner underneath, and then I'm going to cinch this together as tight as possible. Take my pipe cleaner underneath, give it 3 or 4 strong twists so that nothing's going anywhere. So now I have this long one here that I'm attaching to my wreath. I take all of my tails and I start pulling them so that they're all in the middle, because when I put that pipe cleaner on, they kind of got moved to the side. So I keep my blue ones on top, and then we have the football ones. So I just kind of get all of my tails all together here. So it looks like this, and then kind of straighten out my tails. We got 2, and then 1, 2, 1, 2. And at this point here, you can open them up a little bit. But we kind of do the final fluff once it is on the wreath. So then we're going to do this side, same as we did on that side. The 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. There you go. And there is our bow. So it looks a little bit disheveled, not disheveled, a little bit wild with the tail still, but once it's on the wreath, it'll hang beautifully. And here we go. So there's our bow that we made today. Next time you see me, we will be adding this onto our wreath and adding our footballs and our pine cones and our blue and orange florals, and then we'll be all done. Thanks so much. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.